Hi, everybody. This is Lee, and I'm talking about the concept of universal health care. Single payer is the universal health care system that is described by the Medicare for All bill. The expanded and improved Medicare for All is H.R. 676. It's in the House right now, submitted by John Conyers, and Bernie Sanders may introduce a similar bill in the Senate this September. So it's good to anticipate that. But I wanted to address a typical narrative that comes out whenever the concept of universal health care is discussed. And it's the why should my taxes narrative. So I'm going to address that and just make sure that it's understood that it isn't just your taxes paying for all of us, that all of us are actually paying in our taxes too for you. And so no matter who it is, if it's you that needs medical treatment, or it's he, she, them, they, it over there that need medical treatment, that pool of money is available to be used for those who need it. And that for those who still seem to want to put out the fact, well, I'm eating healthy, I exercise, I take care of myself, why should my taxes go to someone who's overweight or physically unfit or something like that? Here's the thing. Bad things happen to healthy people too. That some things are beyond the control of the healthy eater and the healthy exerciser, that environmental contamination is more than an ocean lately, and we've seen large mega corporations come into a community and demand access to public goods, whether it's the water, whether it's the soil, or whether it's the air. They demand access, and then they contaminate it, and then you drink it, you breathe it, or somehow you ingest it, and you become ill. You were healthy, you were eating right, you were doing all the right things. But if it's something that comes in through the environment beyond your control, healthcare might be necessary for you that you didn't anticipate, that you did not foresee, and that you decide that maybe you don't want your home repossessed or, taken by the bank because you put it up for collateral in order to pay for a procedure to address this healthcare crisis that occurred to you. So healthy people sometimes need healthcare too, and even just preventative healthcare or maintenance, that type of healthcare. So everyone needs it. And then we can go even further and say, well, you're healthy and you're, doing your healthcare maintenance and your preventative treatments. You're taking vitamins, you're eating right, you're exercising, all of that stuff, and it's great. And then a tornado comes through, or a hurricane, or an earthquake, or a typhoon, wherever you live, if you're on the coast, or a drought, or a forest fire, or something comes through and affects you in a very bad way. There's an accident, there's an injury beyond your control. You might need health care. And the severity might decide how much your health care costs. If there is a universal pool of money paid into by everyone instead of just you, you might have a chance of getting well again. And so that's how it works. And then we'll go even a step further and say, okay, there's no disasters because you selected the most safe place, in the United States where nothing happens at all ever. And you're eating right, you're taking care of yourself, and things are great. And then all of a sudden something manifests itself in you, something in your genetics, your DNA that's been passed down. It's hereditary. You didn't know about it, but it came through, and suddenly you have this manifestation of a serious illness or disorder that needs to be addressed. And maybe it's chronic and ongoing, or maybe it's just a one-time thing. But it's unexpected, it's expensive, it's frightening. But you don't have to lose hope because there's universal access to receive this treatment for what ails you. And so that's how it works. You can be the healthiest person, but things happen to everyone. And even if you are the healthy one, is everyone else in your family perfectly healthy too? Your immediate family. How about your parents? Are they perfectly healthy, or maybe they need health care? How about your children? Is there anyone you care about at all that you want to make sure receives adequate healthcare treatments whenever they need it? So that's, that concept that things happen to everyone, the healthy, the young, the elderly, the sick, those who exercise, those who do not. That at one point or another, everyone requires health care, even if it's just for preventative treatments or general health care maintenance. That it's good to have a healthy community. So I won't say that that solves that dilemma, because there are still people who say, well, why should my taxes even so pay for them, or, these people, besides my wonderful self, to have health care? Why should my taxes pay for that? And it's an interesting concept that why should my taxes have to pay for this, that, or the other? I mean, because that question can be applied to many public goods. And if we do that, hopefully you can see, it might illustrate how strange that sounds when it's spoken aloud. Why should my taxes have to pay for this bridge for you all to drive over? Those are my taxes. But why should I have to pay for you to be able to drive over a bridge? Never mind the fact that I also use a bridge myself. Never mind the fact that they also pay their taxes for the bridge to drive over too. Never mind the entire city or the entire state pays for the bridge so everyone can drive over it. It's my taxes. And I just wanted to make sure it's understood that it's not just your taxes paying for everyone else. It might seem that way, but it's not so. That other people are paying into the system too as well. This is a public good that everyone uses, or everyone should be able to use, should they so choose to use it. And so that's why everyone supports it. So no one person has to. It's not just your taxes. It's not just my taxes. It's all of our taxes going in there. Again, why should my taxes pay for this levee to hold the ocean back so we don't all drown? Why should my taxes pay for you to not drown under this levee when it breaks? What? Okay, let's go. Why should my taxes pay for this policeman to come and solve this crime that has occurred to you? Why should my taxes pay for all of these policemen to secure the city that I live in? Why should my taxes pay for these firefighters put out the roof that's on fire over on the next street over? That's not my house. So why should my taxes pay for those firefighters to drive their truck over there and put on the hose and shoot the water and put the fire out on your house? Why didn't you just use your own fire truck and your own water hose and, put out your own fire? Why did my taxes have to pay for that? And so think about how strange it sounds. I mean, we can go National Guard, military. Why should my taxes have to pay for our military to defend you from foreign nations? Why should my taxes pay for them to defend you? Why don't you just have an anti-nuclear missile system in your backyard on your roof, and you could have defended yourself? Personal responsibility, right? Wrong. It's a public good. We all benefit from it. We all need it at one time or another. And so it's for all of us. I mean, we can go forward. We can go disaster relief, services, emergency response services like that. Why should my taxes have to pay for you? Because sometimes emergencies happen to you as well, and maybe you don't have the financial wherewithal to, stop the earthquake, or something, and we all need to pay in so we all have the benefit of disaster relief. Why should my taxes have to pay for this library so you can go in there and read a romance novel when I don't even like romance, and I didn't, it's against my religion, this romance book, so I'm offended. Why should my taxes pay for you to go into the library and read a romance book when I don't read romance? Why should my taxes pay for you to do that? It, and so because everyone else is paying taxes for you to go in and use the photocopy machine or whatever you do at the library. So everyone's paying in. It's not just you. Get over yourselves, please, and understand that we are all in this together. National parks, national monuments. Why should my taxes pay for you to go have a picnic in the national park when you could have just stayed home like I did with my own monuments and statues and my trees, where I have my own national park and I have my own picnic? Why should I have to pay for you to be able to go into a national park and maybe learn something? That's against my religion too, I guess. And so the why should my taxes pay for you concept is just not really ringing right when you apply it to many different things that are public goods that are paid for by most all of us, who are, have payroll or whatever, property tax or something. That we all pay for these public goods, and that healthcare is just one such more thing. Similar to emergency services, firefighting, police, it's a service, it's a public good that we all benefit from. And so I'm going to leave it there. And of course, you can comment, and hopefully I've illustrated that because I've seen some really strange comments myself on when it comes to specifically healthcare for some reason. But anyway, I'll let you think it over. Good luck.